Hey everyone, thanks for watching today's video. I'm so excited to do. I'm gonna be talking, okay, I'm just kidding, but today's video is gonna be a little bit troublesome for me and a little bit hard to get through. I am gonna be talking about if I could only keep 10 makeup brushes in my entire collection. I can only keep 10 of these. I had such a hard time narrowing down these 10 makeup brushes, but I did a video recently talking about if I could only keep 10 high-end eyeshadow palettes, which I will link that one. And in the video, I made a comment about like it would be so hard to only choose 10 makeup brushes. Like I made like some sort of offhand comment, and then I got so many comments from you saying that you wanted to see that video, and I was like, great. Okay, let's do it. And what was funny, this video is actually a collaboration with my friend Katie Marie. What is funny about the timing of that is she had actually messaged me a few weeks prior and asked if I wanted to do a collaboration regarding makeup brushes. And we were talking back and forth on different ideas. And then I was like, well, hey, guess what? Now people want to see me choose if I could only keep 10 of my brushes. So Katie is also doing this video. I am torturing her along with myself. So I will link Katie's channel below. If you are not yet familiar with Katie, she has been one of my friends for such a long time. We've actually been friends since before she started her own YouTube channel, back when she just had her Instagram, just like a whole thing. But we've been friends for such a long time. We've collabed on YouTube videos in the past, and I love watching her videos. I love watching her channel. We do kind of like similar style of videos. She does the Will I Bite videos, she does reviews and hauls and tutorials and like all of the things, but we do have pretty different makeup styles. She's actually quite a bit bolder than I am. She does some really amazing colorful looks. She can do amazing liner. I don't know how she does it. I have just continually been in awe of Katie, even from when we just knew each other via Instagram to her starting her YouTube channel. She gets so much done even as a mom to her younger kids, and just like watching her work ethic and watching her continue to put out content is really inspiring to me. And I also think that she's just such a sweet soul on YouTube, and I tend to gravitate towards sweet souls, I like to think. So I hope that you will check out Katie's channel and also her 10 makeup brushes. I'm gonna be very curious which brushes she chooses, because this was not an easy task. So again, I'm gonna link her channel down below. Thank you so much, Katie, for collaborating with me, and I'm so sorry that I made you do this one. But let's go ahead and get started. Alright, I also want to say I did some filming on this look. I have the new Colourpop Limoncello collection on. Actually, I don't know when this video is going up. I'm pre-filming, I think, pretty far in advance. I don't even know. Colourpop could have 3 more collections by the time this video comes out, but sometimes pre-filming is what we have to do. But this makeup look will be on my Instagram and also on my TikTok. Alright, I got it down to 10 brushes. I mean, okay. Like, where do I start? So I went back and forth on if I should have a foundation brush, because I can apply foundation with a sponge, which I do really like to do, or I can do my hands, you know, especially if I'm doing something like a tinted moisturizer, which I do have the new one from Decay on today. Not a perfect shade match, but that's okay. So I was like, do I really need, and my foundation brush was one that I kind of put on the edge of like, if I can't narrow it down, I can kick it out. But I decided in the end to keep it, and the one that I am keeping is from BK Beauty, and this is the 101. I wanted to keep this brush for a couple different reasons though, because not only do I think that it's a great foundation brush, but I could also use this for cream products. Now, cream products, once again, I could also use a sponge for, or even my fingers. I have a blush stick on from Colourpop today, and I actually just blended it in with my fingers, and I don't know who I am either, but that's okay. But if I felt like I needed a brush for cream products, this is also a good one, and it's a pretty dense brush. Some of the brushes, you know, I do want them to be dual purpose for the intentions of this video, and I feel like the 101 could give that to me. I did actually use this today for my Urban Decay product, and I also wanted to include a brush because sometimes I do want a little bit more coverage, and that's what I tend to get from a brush, and that's why. Those are my reasons. Okay. It's like I want to like justify so hard all of my decisions because it was not easy, but I'm like, okay, that's it, move on. Move on, Samantha. Obviously I had to have a concealer brush, I mean, for sure. And I do have some favorite concealer brushes, but I this one was really a no-brainer for me. And if you've been following my channel for a while, and if you've watched, I typically do a brush video every year talking about my favorite brushes. So I did one at the end of 2020. It was actually my top 20 brushes of 2020. If you're interested in that one, I can link it in the cards. But I have been using this brush for years and years. It's the Sephora 57. If you don't have the Sephora 57, what? Like, you should get it. This is their Airbrush Concealer. Sephora has some really nice brushes. I do have another brush from them in this video, but the 57 for concealer is everything. I used it today. I use it almost every day. I should have like multiples of these for how much I use it, but it's fine. It just blends everything so easily, so smoothly, so flawlessly. It really is like you just airbrushed concealer on you. I considered doing a bigger brush because sometimes, especially if, like, sometimes I just use concealer as foundation and then I kind of want a bigger brush to be able to blend things in, but I have the 101. I could do it with that, and I just can't envision a life without the 57 brush. Is that dramatic? No. Next up, this is kind of a bougie pick. I mean, is it? I don't know. But once again, dual purpose. So I found a couple different ways that I could use this brush because I really like it. So this is from Rephr, and this is their 05 brush. Now I mostly use this for contour. Now, do I contour every day? No. Can I use a bronzer brush to contour? I mean, you could. Like, there's different brushes that you could use. If I'm using a cream contour, I could do the 101, but I really like the 05 for contour. Now, technically you could also use it for blush, but that actually wasn't what I was going for. This, I was also thinking I could dual purpose it into like a larger brush to like put powder onto my face, a powder brush. Samantha, I was thinking I could also use it as a powder brush. It's not quite as big. A lot of the face brushes that I use for powder are pretty large. This could do also because I don't have a bigger brush in this one. Because again, it's not something that I use all the time, and sometimes I can use my sponges for powder. But I was thinking like this would be I could just sweep the powder all over my face. So the 05. I had to include this one. Now, I did want to include a powder brush for my under eyes because that's just something that I do all of the time. I have some really small brushes that I enjoy using for that. I have some like pretty flat brushes that I enjoy using for that. But the one that I decided to choose out is from Real Techniques. This is their setting brush. So I especially love this for setting under eye powder. I think it's so great. I mean, I could use this also for like setting powder all over the face, but it's, I mean, especially compared to the Rephr, it's quite a bit smaller to do something like that. But also, this is a great highlight brush. So I don't have a separate highlight brush. The Sigma F03 was in here for the longest time, but this is also a great highlight brush. I know a lot of people that use this for highlight. I personally love it for setting the under eyes the most, but again, dual purpose with the Real Techniques setting brush. I do include a bronzer brush. I mean, there's no getting around the fact that I had to have a bronzer brush. And currently, my favorite bronzer brush in my collection is the BK Beauty 103. Love this brush for bronzer. I mean, could this one have some dual purposes also? Probably, but this is just a fantastic bronzer brush. That's what I'm going to use it for. Like, it just is what it is. It's an amazing bronzer brush. I love BK Beauty brushes, but the 103, if you love a good bronzer moment like me, I would check this one out. I did include a blush brush because I'm a savage like that. Again, I'm going back, but I did it. I mean, I did it. I narrowed it down to 10. And I'm very proud of myself. So from Rephr, once again, this is the 04. I don't know what it is about this brush, but I just love it. I love it so much. I love it for blush. Obviously, I need to clean all of my brushes. I know, but that's a feat. But Rephr makes some great quality brushes. Again, I'm gonna link all of these down below, but the 04 for blush, like, it's just such a good shape. And again, could I use this for contour? Like, this might even be technically considered a contour brush, but I like angled brushes for my blush, not really for contour. I like something small and rounded like this for contour. I don't know. And I just didn't want to leave this one behind. And then we are moving on to eye brushes. This was so hard, but I did it. Here's what we decided on. From Sigma Beauty, the E44 Firm Blender. Love this brush. I have so many of these. If you don't have the E44 in your collection also, I highly recommend that you get it because This one I feel like you can just do so many things. So it comes up to more of like a domed top. So I can use this brush to pack shadows onto my lid and it works great. I can also use it to blend and it works great. So right there, it's already a 2-in-1 brush for me. Like there's so many times where I pack a shadow on and then I use that same, like I don't even grab any more shadow, I just use what I laid down and then I buff it with this brush. And you can't always do that with something like a flat shader brush, and sometimes with blending brushes, they're so fluffy, you can't really pack shadow onto the lid. The E44 is a genius brush. Highly recommend it if you don't yet have it. I did want to include a smaller blending brush also because I used to really enjoy the Sigma E40, and that one is a really large blending brush, and that was the first step that I would do all of the time with my makeup. Now I actually gravitate towards a smaller blending brush to really kind of just be more precise where I place my shadows, because sometimes I'm like, ah, and you just like don't really know where shadows are going. So I really wanted to grab a smaller one, and this is the other one from Sephora. It's their 24. So again, just a really small blending brush, but I can be really precise where I place that shadow, but it's also really soft, really smooth to blend everything out. I felt like 2 blending brushes were necessary. Because you can't, it's harder to blend with your fingers. You know what I'm saying? Like 2 blending brushes was necessary. I did want to include a flat shader. I decided on just one because I have a couple different sizes and I have a couple, you know, it's like some of the bristles are different, but I can apply with my fingers. I physically am able to, using something, you know, like the Smoke Reflex from Auric. I like to use my fingers with that. The shadow that I have on the middle of my lids from Colourpop, I actually did use my fingers today. So I have that option. So that's why I only went with one flat shader, and this is from Sigma. This is their E58 cream color. This is fabulous for so many different types of shadows, for glittery shadows, for super shocks from Colourpop, just for like satiny shadows. I mean, this is your brush. Like, this is your brush. This is the one that I recommend. I absolutely knew, you know, I have like a little jar of all my brushes, and I was like digging through it like this, looking for this brush, because I was like, I knew immediately which one had to be in this video. Gotta have it. Lastly, I absolutely had to include a pencil brush. And what's so funny is several years ago, I did not own a pencil brush, and I did not think that was something I would ever need in my collection. When I would watch tutorials and I would see people use pencil brushes, I would think like, that's a waste. Like there's another brush that you could do that with. And once I got a pencil brush and started trying it, now I own like 50, and I'm probably not even exaggerating. I love pencil brushes. If you, for some reason, are still like me, you know, back in the day, we weren't quite as well versed in, like we were trying, and now I feel like a lot of us are like, we're a lot better now. But if for some reason, if you still don't have a pencil brush, just please try one out. My personal favorite, and the one that I chose out, is once again from Sigma. This is the E30. Such a good pencil brush. I probably have like 10 of these, and I'm not kidding. But this can be great for lower lash line work, or it can be great for inner corner, or it can be great for brow bone, or it can be great as a really teeny tiny brush also for the lid. Maybe you want to do some liner, maybe you just want like really detailed crease work. You're not really going to get that with the blending brushes, so I would have the option with the pencil brush. The pencil brush can do so many things. I mean, you could use this for the face if you want to, maybe like some spot concealer, whatever. I mean, there's just so many things you can do with a pencil brush. If you don't have one, you really should. If you're looking for a great one, I would highly recommend the Sigma E30. Okay, after that, that is it. Those are, if I can only keep 10 brushes in my makeup collection, these would be my brushes. I mean, I feel like we would have a happy life together, but I would also want my other brushes. And you know how often I would have to clean these, especially if I was using this for like contour and for setting powder. I would have to constantly be clean. Wow, that just sounds, that sounds like a feat. But this video was so much fun. Thank you for requesting and to see this one in my last eyeshadow palette video. I do appreciate it. Thank you so much to Katie for collaborating with me on this video. Again, if you're not familiar with her, please go check her out. Tell her that I sent you. Tell her that I said hello. All of the good things. Let me know if you could only keep 10 brushes in your collection. Leave some of those brushes in the comments because I want to see how you guys do on this video. But other than that, if you enjoyed it, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. I hope you also consider subscribing before you go, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.